As a result of intensive work by research institutes and design institutes, the first artificial Earth satellite in the world has now been created. This first satellite was today successfully launched in the U.S. government. According to preliminary information, the carrier rocket has imparted to the satellite the required orbital velocity of about 8,000 meters a second. At the present time, the satellite is describing elliptical trajectories around the Earth. Its flight may be observed at the rate of the rising and setting sun with the aid of the simplest optical instruments, such as binoculars and spyglass.
Your identity is on your phone. Well, the bad guy's identity is on his phone too. And if we can find a way to get into that phone legally, usually we'll find evidence.
District Attorney Danny Porter confirmed what the 11 Alive investigators discovered. Gwinnett County Police are using multiple Stingray devices. They're fake cell towers that trick a phone into giving up its location.
The accuracy is
Within meters.
so an investigator with this technology would be able to tell if we were in your office or the one next door.
Correct.
But it's not just a suspect's phone that this technology tracks, it's also the phones of every innocent bystander in the area. So even if police are looking for someone that they think did wrong, they may be collecting very sensitive location information about dozens or hundreds of completely innocent people.
The American Civil Liberties Union has sued to unseal documents showing police using fake cell towers all over the nation, often without a warrant.
My phone here says I'm connected to the Verizon tower, but I could be connected to a police surveillance van?
These devices pretend to be a cell tower from your provider and then gather information about who your phone is and where it is, as well as all the phones in the area, and you would never know.
It looks for that phone. That's all it looks for.
So it's not a big dragnet capturing
No.
all the phones
No.
in that area?
It looks for that phone and tells us where it is.
Today's smartphone is a powerful computer networked to the internet and GPS satellites. It's constantly gathering all kinds of information about you. But now the government can reach in and grab those secrets without your knowledge. And once the police have their hands on your cell phone, they're not even telling defense attorneys they found you using a fake cell tower. Well, they're only using this to catch bad guys. Why should I care?
Yeah. Well, not every person who's accused of being a bad guy is a bad guy.
Robert Booker is a defense attorney in Gwinnett County. He had never heard police were using fake cell towers here for years until we told him.
If there were phone calls made, they would normally show up here.
One recently acquitted defendant show calls going through phantom cell towers.
Is your gut feeling that this technology may have been used and you weren't told about it?
Yes, it was. I believe it was.
If a defense attorney asked, was this technology used to catch my client, would you be prohibited from telling them that because of this contractual agreement?
I would only tell them that we used a cell phone location technology.
They've been trying to mislead defense attorneys about how they located a defendant's case. Sometimes they'll use euphemisms like confidential investigative technique or confidential source, trying to hide the fact that they used this equipment.
Why? Because of a non-disclosure agreement between the private manufacturer and the government, a contract we're not allowed to see.
The contractual agreement with the vendor would actually prohibit you from revealing the existence of this in a case in court?
D.A. Porter insists Gwinnett County Police always get court approval before deploying their fake cell towers, but those court orders are sealed.
I want to file a motion with the court to find out exactly how you did that.
Which we would then oppose.
You understand the skepticism when those of us who are responsible for observing government action are told, this is completely secret, but trust us, we're not abusing it.
I could understand that if that's what we were saying. I mean, but that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that we found your client through a geolocation service or device. I'm just not going to tell you which one.
The 11 Alive investigators contacted the Harris Corporation, which referred us back to law enforcement. Gwinnett County Police told us to call the FBI, and then they said they couldn't talk because of Homeland Security. The police department has since released a statement admitting their use of cell site simulators. Brendan Keefe joins us now. Brendan, how do any of us know that our cell phones aren't being tracked?
Well, that's the problem, Katie. We don't know because program is entirely opaque. But Gwinnett County Police did release this statement, and they now admit they're using the Stingray cell phone tower emulators, and they're also saying they temporarily catch and release third-party cell phone information as, quote, a necessary part of searching for the lawfully targeted cell phone. What that means is they're admitting they actually do track the cell phones of people who are not their targets. They're just saying they don't keep that data.
Thank you for that report, Brendan.
The whole point of this video today was to emphasize the fact that the government hasn't probably been just doing this recently. They've been using cell phone towers for quite some time. I've heard a report, but I can't find the material, that said that the government started using cell phone towers to actually transmit a subliminal alpha wave. And they've been doing this since cell phones became popular back in the late 80s, early 90s. And why are they doing it? It's to kind of like either control road rage while you're driving your car, or that they're using it to kind of like mentally brainwash you into submission of what they're doing, even now. The more that they destroy of our freedoms, they know there's going to be more and more riots, like what happened recently in Ferguson and in Staten Island. But really, that's kind of a tip of the iceberg, because people know that eventually we're all going to be basically corralled into these death camps, these FEMA camps. Now, you laugh, but if you think about it, in the past 70 years, they've done this very same thing to the Chinese Americans when the Second World War was going on. They sent Americans who were of Chinese descent, incarcerated them for the duration of the war. And there is no reason to think that they could not do the same thing now to basically take those who don't agree with this new world order that's starting from subjecting you to, in some way or another, mental torture. And they've got technology that can do it. And I pretty much have my own conclusions about things that we see, like crop circles. These things are not UFOs. They're not aliens. These things are created by the government. They have the technology that they can read a license plate from space. They can pinpoint a person within 2 inches. And with that kind of technology, they have probably the way of using microwaves or lasers. And they're burning these circles as tests to see how accurate can their satellite systems be in orbit. And who's doing all this? Well, specifically, it's the National Security Administration. And I'll tell you something, you probably never thought of this. The United States does not have anything that compares to the Russian KGB until now. And the National Security Administration is an American equivalent of what the Russians used to have, which was called the KGB. And today, of course, Putin has probably his own version of that. But it's not going to ever be the same as it once was then anyway. But the National Security Administration is in place for one reason, and that is subjection and control of the American public. And that's to make sure that if you have a difference of opinion, they're going to come after you in mass, all different agencies at once. And if you don't agree with the government, which is now the New World Government, they're going to put you in these FEMA camps, and they're going to tell you, you either accept what we have and what we're doing, or they'll kill you. And you can laugh all you want, but this is a very, very real issue right now. And I don't believe for 1 second that as an American citizen, you're going to get away with thinking that being free and having free thought is going to be something that they're going to tolerate for any length of time. And Obama is doing this crap right today with allowing communist nations like Russia and North Korea. And, of course, Cuba, that's obvious. Cuba is definitely communistic. It has been since 1961. And why did Kennedy fail the Bay of Pigs? Because he didn't send in the promised air support that the Cubans expected he would send so that they could actually take over the island. He didn't do that. All he said was, I'll let you guys be communistic and do whatever you want as long as you take those missiles out of there. And that's what he and Nikita Khrushchev agreed with. And now today, 60 years later, Obama is in power, he's in office, and what is he doing to the United States? He is opening his arms to them, saying, we have no beefs with you anymore. We have no intention to maintain any sanctions against you. And why is he doing that? Because if you're a communist, you're going to support and help your fellow comrades, your fellow socialists. And he's doing that right now. And if you're blind enough to think that's not what's happening, you know what? You've been living in a bubble for 7 years since Obama took office, and you may as well go back into your bubble, because eventually he's going to burst it, and you're going to be standing there wondering what just happened. What did I miss? And it's too late, because either you're going to subject to his philosophy of world domination and total socialism and communism. And that's the same thing, folks. Communism and socialism is the same thing. Or you're going to stand up for your rights as an American, if there is such a person anymore, and you're going to retaliate. You're going to stand up and you're going to fight for what our founding fathers created in this nation, which is freedom and liberty. And those are two alien words today. People don't know what that means. All they know is it's just some historical reference to something that happened, and that's as far as it goes, as far as them. And they're not going to do anything else to stand up for themselves and say, I don't agree with Obama, and I'm not going to say that in the next year or 2 years that there will be still a United States of America, because all he's got to do with a stroke of a pen is initiate martial law, and that ends any other elections. That means Hillary Clinton wouldn't be elected. That means nobody else would be able to run for office, because he'll take over. And it's already there. It's right there now, right in front of our faces. So please don't sleep anymore. If you've been sleeping, get up. Do something about it. Don't let Obama and the National Security Administration take away whatever freedoms we still have, because otherwise it's going to be too late. And by 2016, 2017, I guarantee you Obama probably will initiate martial law, and that's the end of your freedom. Thank you for watching the video today.